Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Christopher Nolan's really breakthrough film, Memento. And this is going to be the next film that we're going to talk about for the movie club on the Development Hell podcast for the month of March. So make sure to go check out that episode when that comes out in a couple weeks. But I wanted to get a chance to talk about this film separately, and because I am huge fan of Christopher Nolan. He's one of my favorite directors. And this film, I remember watching this in cinema class in high school and just being blown away by this film and how it all is so intricately put together and how it all comes together. And this is based off of Memento Mori, which is a short film, a short story written by Jonathan Nolan, who's Christopher Nolan's brother, who's been involved in his writing and also in the show Westworld. And Memento has this man who cannot create new memories after a traumatic event, the death of his wife, and he is now looking for John G., the man who raped and murdered his wife and got away. And you have this man who cannot create these memories, played by Guy Pearce, Guy Pearce is a really talented actor and a really unsung actor. And he does a fantastic job in this film building anger and obliviousness and just humor and just a vulnerability about him and self-assured. And you have this character who starts in such a way. They show this film and how it's structured. You start with seeing a horrible thing that this character does in terms of murder. And you're just sitting here thinking, you have Leonard here who, are we supposed to like Leonard? Who are we supposed to like and trust in this film in general? And how the film is structured where, say you have these black and white scenes and you have these color scenes. Black and white scenes are moving forward. The color scenes are moving backwards. Say you have 20 scenes in this film and you start off with scene 1. Then you get scene 20 in color. Scene 2. Then scene 19. And so on and so on and so on. So, what we're getting at the beginning of the film is the very beginning of the story and then the very end of the story. And then you were working both back to chronologically the center of the story, and you're just like, how does this work? And it's so intricately put together. Christopher Nolan does such an amazing job of creating this puzzle and piecing it together, and how they have all these little hints. The best parts, and like the black and white scenes, are setting up a lot of exposition and setting up ideas and themes that are going to be important moving forward, and some background on this character of Leonard and his story of Sammy Jenkins and this man who he investigated with a similar situation, and these parallels to these stories. But it's the color scenes as it's moving backwards that are so much more intriguing, because you see a scene and you have this perspective, and then the next scene shows what happened before that completely changes your perspective on the scene that you just watched. And that's something special. And there's such great little visual storytelling. Like in one scene, Leonard's like, oh, like looking at his hand, like it hurts for some reason, but you don't know why. But you will in the next time we see a color scene. And then you have like him drinking a beer, and a creepy old guy at the bar being like, and you're just like, why is this guy laughing at him drinking this beer? And then you're gonna find out. And how they just pull back the layers and the mystery and how they set this all up is so intriguing. And then this film presents these ideas of facts versus memories. And obviously memories are not reliable, but how reliable can facts be when you don't have memories? And can somebody take advantage of that? Can they take advantage of Leonard, who's so self-assured that these are facts, these are things he has tattooed on his body. He has all these tattoos with all this information about John G. and things that he has to remember. And Is he going to find John G in this film? Is he finally going to get the peace for what happened to his wife? And you're on edge and you want to know what's going on and you want to find out what the hell happened in the middle of this film to set things off in this direction. It's mind-blowing how this film works in this way, and this cinematography is well done. There's whenever there's some violence in the film and like fighting, the editing is not the greatest. It's really over edited, it's shaky, it's jumpy, and just kind of takes you out of it. And that's definitely a thing with Christopher Nolan. There's a lot of criticism about how he shoots action a lot of the times, especially in the Batman films. Just over edited quick cuts and stuff like that, and I'm not the hugest fan of that. And it made some of the scenes feel a little bit awkward in how they were rendered in this film. But you can get past that because everything else is firing on these different levels, and Guy Pearce is great. Joe Pantoliano as Teddy, with this like cop haircut and this cop mustache, and he's just like a slimy little guy. And then you have Carrie-Anne Moss, who plays Natalie, who there's so much mystery to Natalie as she's somebody that you meet in the color scenes as things are going backwards, and then you get layers to these characters. And she gets so many layers, and she's complex. And is she dangerous? Is she somebody he can trust? Is there a passion here? Did they connect over shared experiences and those emotional moments? This film's almost 2 hours, but it breezes through and it keeps building up and building the intrigue. And the music in this film is odd, and it's super subtle. The composer David Julian, who does this film, is just, there's something weird and quirky about these like and just these little tiny weird sounds that pop up in the soundtrack, and you're just like, it kind of puts you on edge and puts you in a weird place. And that's exactly where you need to be watching this film, because it is unnerving and creepy and weird. But the film is edited, besides those action sequences, so well, and how these scenes just flow together, how everything is shot and how things are captured and rendered is beautiful. Wally Pfister does such a fantastic job with his cinematography here, but Nolan is impeccable in his direction and how he structures the story. And this is why Memento is so beloved by so many cinephiles out there, because this is an amazing achievement in art. And Christopher Nolan is a mad genius of film, and it works so well. And I'm so glad every time that I rewatch this film. So if you haven't seen Memento, go check it out. It is worth your time. And dig deep into Christopher Nolan's filmography. This is an amazing place to jump off with, though. And it's so interesting because it's so small scale to what we know from Nolan now is just scale. And this is scale. Intimate, meaningful, and all the times mysterious. And that's Memento. But those are my thoughts on Memento. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.